not only are you a priest, but you are a royal priest. You are a king or queen. You are in the lineage of God. And so you're a leader and you're a minister, a worshiper. So you are a worship leader. So far in the worship devotional, we've covered a lot of different topics pertaining to worship, one of which is that you are responsible for your own worship. You have to bring your own sacrifice to the altar. No one else can do that for you. Another is the contagious nature of the glory of God and worship, how Saul was influenced by these worshipers who were prophesying and playing instruments, and he began to prophesy like them and was changed into another person because of their worship. Then there's the value of your worship, that your worship matters. That's what we talked about last week. Your worship matters. And I want to bring all those together into this week's topic. You are a worship leader. If you are a follower of Christ, if you follow the Lord, if you call yourself a believer, then you are not just a worshiper, you are a worship leader. Here's a couple of scriptures that will confirm that for you. Exodus 19:6, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. 1 Peter 2:9, but you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession, so that you may proclaim the excellencies of Him who has called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. And finally, Revelation 5:10, you have made them a kingdom of priests to our God, and they will reign upon the earth. So not only are you a priest, but you are a royal priest. You are a king or queen. You are in the lineage of God. And so you're a leader and you're a minister, a worshiper. So you are a worship leader. This takes a lot of pressure off of worship leaders because, again, as I talked about before, the worship leader can't do for you what needs to happen in your hearts. You have to come to grips with the reality of the cross and enter His gates with thanksgiving and enter His courts with praise. No one can force you in. Even an anointed worship leader, they cannot force you into the throne room. You can encounter the presence of God, but your choice 100% is how to respond to that. And when you worship, you influence the atmosphere. You change the atmosphere and environment around you. You influence the people around you. You are, if you're a father or a mother, you are the lead worshiper in your house. Fathers especially, you are the high priest of your house. Your friends who don't know Jesus, you are a priest to them. You are the worshiper in their life. That matters. In the world, we are the priests unto God. This is a huge responsibility, but it's a huge gift that we get to minister to the Most High God. And I just want to encourage you in that. Don't let the devil or anything else distract you from that. When it's time to worship, you approach Him. You lead yourself and lead the people around you. Again, you can't drag people into His presence, but you can point them in that direction. For the longest time, I was thought when I led worship at church, my job was to convince people to worship God. When that's happening, worship isn't happening. It's ministering to people. I'm basically a cheerleader. I would much rather be a choir director, and I'm leading the song, but I'm not convincing people that He's worthy of worship. No, the cross did that. All I can do is tell you about the cross, and you have to decide, are you going to worship or not? I would rather, if I had the choice, right? If I was in a congregation of believers and we had the most anointed, powerful, zealous worship leader, but the whole congregation was mellow and was a little passionless and was waiting for this worship leader to sing the favorite song, to sing it in their key, and to play the instruments just right, the arrangement that they liked the most. Or if I had the opportunity to be in a congregation of really hungry, really fiery worshipers, with somebody leading who has the microphone, who's not very talented, not very anointed, maybe hits some wrong notes, I'd rather be in that congregation every time. I've had the opportunity of leading worship with a congregation of people that don't need leading, and I'm telling you, that room, whether you're leading or you're in the congregation, is completely different. And it only happens when individuals like you commit themselves. I'm going to worship. I'm going to worship at home. I'm going to worship on the way to church. And I'm going to worship when we're all together. I'm not going to let the moment slip by. I'm going to dance wildly like David. I'm going to shout. I'm going to lift a loud voice, lift up a song. I encourage you, go and listen to Gratitude by Brandon Lake and worship the Lord with all your might. God bless you.